Hello, everyone. I am here. And you're like, girl, it's Friday night. You usually come on Tuesday, but I did not come on Tuesday this time because I had to get my hair done. My hair done, just me and my side pony against the world. But also, and then I thought about Wednesday, and I have like a monthly meeting for KKFI. I'm on the podcast committee. And so I was like, I got to prepare for that, really get, prepared for that meeting. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do it on Friday? Because I'm kicking it on Friday, keeping it really low key because I got a lot of other weekend plans going on. So I thought, you know what? It's a nice Friday evening just to sit and cook and be silly on camera. Like, why not, right? Okay, so this is, and I'm doing a fridge clean out as always. But so tonight I'm going to do the waffles. I'm going to do some seasonal waffles. And what makes them seasonal? Well, I've got some vanilla, right? Nothing says, like fall, although it does not feel like fall all the time. Like vanilla, and then I got a little bit of allspice. So we're going to add a little bit to the waffle party here. But again, this is a mix, and to me, there's no shame in doing a mix. And I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. So you're thinking, are you going to eat all those waffles? And no, I'm not going to. I'm going to have a couple of them, and then I'm going to freeze them. So there you go. And what I like about waffles, and I'm just going to I'm trying to measure the cups out so I know how much water, because I prefer a thicker waffle, okay? It's just part of my thing. I'm a thicker waffle kind of gal, I guess, okay? And I know this paper is rattling. There's probably people out there going, girl, why is the paper, I know, I feel you. Well, you could just look at it as an onomatopoeia, right? Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna kind of go, see how much, I think it's probably I got like a cup left, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I like to do the cup thing. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of thin waffles. I mean, I can make them work, right? If it's a thin waffle, I can make it work. And usually if I feel like the waffles are too thin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of slice those waffles up and turn it more into, what's up, nephew? I'm going to turn it more into a dessert thing that you kind of spear. So I've got the thin waffles kind of sliced up and just like a little dipping, what's up? A little dipping sauce, something like that, a little blackberry, or just something like, a little waffle. You know how we do if you're from the country or whatever, you had parents that had a lot of kids, you know what we do. We do not waste anything, right? Okay, so I've got about a cup and 1.5 cups. So I'm just going to kind of do this like this. I just want to kind of see right here. And I think, so I put in about a cup. Well, not quite a cup. Let's see here. I think I put in maybe 3/4 of it. But again, I just want to stir this. This is what I do. This is how I do this. Because I want to make sure, and I know that this is not a shallow bowl, and I apologize for that. But, okay, so it probably needs a little bit, maybe a little bit more. You know what? I'm just going to put just a little bit more water in. Because, again, I don't want thin waffles because I'm putting them into Big Bertha. Now, we haven't seen Big Bertha for a while because the last time we saw Big Bertha, she kind of went down like the Hindenburg. It was not pretty, but we all got through it. Okay? So now, this consistency here, it's got a little bit more liquid in it, but it's not completely runny. So now the next thing we're going to do is, and again, I did follow some constructive criticism. I'm going to measure things out. I've really been trying to be really good about measuring things out. Now, try not to measure things over the ingredients, because if you do spill over there, you could have an issue. This is a tablespoonful of vanilla, and you're like, that's a lot of vanilla. I'm like, yeah, but I like vanilla. I do. Okay, so now this is again, these are seasonal. And back in the day, I can remember having pancakes as in the wintertime. Sometimes we'd have pancakes for dessert if we didn't have, maybe we just had a couple more cookies, and my mom would be like, you know what, let's just do some pancakes for dessert. And that's what we would do. And I don't know if she put the vanilla in there, but she would put maybe a little bit of whipped cream on there. I'll top it with a little ice cream. That's something you can do. I know right now with everything going on with these grocery prices that are just beating us up all over the place, they have no empathy for us, these grocery prices. So I know you're probably trying to figure out, this is a half teaspoon. Okay, I don't want to do a half teaspoon because I'm going to tell you that allspice is going to take over. So I put maybe a 1/4 teaspoon in here. I think about a 1/4 teaspoon in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that like that because the allspice will take over. Vanilla is strong, but allspice can really it can be a little stronger. So I wanted to kind of have that dessert kind of feel. So again, you know, you're thinking to yourself, man, I got all these kids, I got all these people for dessert. What am I going to do? You know what you're going to do? You're going to make some nighttime waffles. Add some vanilla, some allspice, all the things. Top it with a little ice cream. You can do some like a French vanilla ice cream. I don't know how expensive ice cream is because I'm not a huge ice cream person. So I can't tell you, maybe ice cream is so expensive. You're like side-eyeing this video like, I know this girl did not just say get some ice cream. But, you know, again, you don't have to get a lot of ice cream. Maybe what you do is you get like one of the smaller ones, like, you know, the store brand smaller ones, just for such an occasion, and, you know, put a couple scoops on there, like little, you know, baby scoops on there, and boom, you've got dessert. So I'm going to move this out of the way because Big Bertha demands to be like the star of the show. I'm just trying to put this on this table that you cannot see. Okay, that is perfect. And we're bringing out Big Bertha. Okay, Big Bertha. See here. And as you know, I love my gadgets, but a lot of these gadgets, you know, I get like the $40 to $50 range. And as a result, when you do that, you don't, you know, get the ones that actually have temperature control. So you got to be kind of careful on these things. So just FYI, if you want to get one of these. I have a small waffle maker that now picture this. I used to use that waffle maker and I would make like 20 waffles. And I'm like, how did I do this? How was I able to do 20 waffles? I mean, it was a lot. I think I had to listen to like 2 hours worth of podcasts to kind of get through to get them. Okay. So when I do this, I try not to do too much in the batter. And I don't know if you can't see this, can you? No, you can. So we're just going to move everything around. We're just going to move it. Here we go. So now you can kind of see what I've got going on here with the batter. I try not to overdo it, just because when you do that, sometimes you get a lot of burnt pieces and whatnot, and it's kind of annoying. So I don't know. I think this might make 6 waffles. I've got 4 right here, so we're just going to try to, okay, so that's a full thing. We're going to come over here and do it. So yeah, so the idea here is I probably will have one of these for dessert. I do have some whipped cream that I can do. I can put on top of here to kind of like, you know, have my waffle dessert. I'll have like one. Let's see here. And also if you've got some fruit that you're going to use, now you got to be careful with fruit because you kind of have to eat that soon or you got to freeze it. Okay, so it looks like I've got 4 here. So we're just going to go ahead and discreetly close Big Bertha. I'm going to eyeball. I think I might have like 2 more going. So now, Big Bertha, she just is all up in the way. Okay. I also have to move my charger cord because when I go live, for some reason, you know, it just kind of drains the battery a little bit. So I don't want to end up on like, you know, 15%. So that's why I always kind of have my cord out. Okay. Now, what I can do right now, what I always say is like, whenever you can, start prepping something else, right? So I've got Big Bertha there though, but let's see. What else can I do? I can kind of show you. This is the mocktail glass I shall be drinking from, or the goblet, as they say at the Ren Fair. So it's kind of got like that little fall theme on it. I've had it for a while. I always forget that I have it. And for the ingredients for the mocktail, you know, I got my cherry gelatin right here. That's going to give that mocktail some depth. So it's not just like, oh, look, we mixed 2 liquids together. How fun is that? It's going to give it like a nice, like kind of texture. Okay. I see that Big Bertha, she's smoking a little bit. Let's see what Big Bertha's got going on. Oh, not quite yet. Not quite ready yet, Big Bertha. Okay. I'm going to actually get a plate as well. Just pardon my reach. Have a plate that's going to be ready to go. My mise en place is just not placing tonight. I apologize, but it is Friday night. I'm just trying to make it like everybody else. Okay, let's get this going. Big Bertha is ready to go. And it's kind of like, again, maybe you can kind of catch the smoke that's going on, you know, because I'm ready for all this smoke, right? Okay, let's see here. Okay, not quite. we don't want to, so what happens is they are formed and that's great, but you kind of want to let it get a little bit more of a crisp because otherwise they're going to be really rubbery and everything. So then you will have to do something where you have to, you know, put it back in there, cut it up. It's going to get kind of weird. But, you know, like I said, a hatchet and like a pizza roller can really change your life in the best way. That's what I do. Whenever something gets a little too, I'm like, oh, is it still edible? I'll taste it. Oh, that's still good. It's going in some kind of like, you know, ramekin, which again, I know I talk about my ramekins all the time, but if you mess up, that's what a ramekin is for, right? That's what a ramekin is for, or a bowl or something, you know, because sometimes when you mess up and you put it on a plate, it just looks sad. You're like, look at that sad thing going on. But if you put it in a bowl or a ramekin, all of a sudden, you know what? It's intentional. It's going to take a quick little drink of water here. Okay, so yep, I got two probably, I think Big Bertha's going to give me maybe two more of these little waffles. Now you've got to really watch these things, like when you've got these gadgets and stuff going on, you don't want to like walk out of the room. You really want to watch these things. Okay, this has got a little bit more color, but I'm going to wait just maybe like a minute or two, just kind of let it go there. And where did I have a spatula? I know I had a spoon. Let's see here. You know what? I think I always have, now I am famous and people make fun of me, but I always have some tongs and that I get at the Dollar Tree. But I feel like I've gone to so many places with my tongs. I have no idea where they are. So let's see, what else can I do? You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. We can just use this. We'll use this and maybe we'll have to use, trying to think what else. Well, let's start with this and see what happens. Okay, what do we got? Okay, so we've got more color on here. Is it coming out? Okay, look, they are coming out easily. They are not as, like I'm looking at these, I kind of prefer more of a brown on there, but that's okay. They are like, they're cooked, right? Like, you know, everything else is kind of like a vanity thing. You want to make sure, because sometimes I've had it where they were very brown, but they weren't cooked all the way. I don't know what was going on there. But, so yeah, let's see here. Let's get this out of here. Got these two going. Look, just if you look at these, and I'll show you later, because look, I've got like a nice, well, I know they're hot, I forget that, but yeah, I've got a nice circular thing. That's why I kind of like using these gadgets. Okay, so this has got like a little reservoir here, so I'm trying to, let's get that out of here. Get out of here. Okay, we're gonna move that off of here because I don't want that to burn. I've made the mistake of ignoring that reservoir, and then I'm like, what's smoking? And it was, you know, the extra stuff right here. Now, some people would go ahead and, you know, eat on that and whatever, like, you know, it'd be like a little treat or something, you know. I'm probably not going to do that, so I might have to, like, you know, go ahead and throw that away. But, you know, again, they're perfectly fine. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? What's Big Bertha going to give me here? Am I going to have enough for two? Okay, I think I am. I think I'm barely going to have enough for two. So, let's see here. Okay. And this is why I love this right here, because you can just edge this on down. Now you think, oh, does it really make a difference? But if, let's say you had an extra person, you know, that was gonna stop by, you'd be really thankful that you were able to edge this down and give them like an extra waffle. Okay, here we go. Right here. Oh, look, okay, so it looks like we've got that going. We still have some more, but I don't know if I've got enough to justify. I'll try. This is gonna be super thin. What I might do is just like, hang on. Let's just maybe add a little bit more. Whoops. Look, it hit the floor because gravity. Okay. Okay. I think that's all we're going to get, and it is probably going to leak out a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. Just going to move this out of the way. Okay. Coming back to move this out of the way. Got to clean as I go. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just going to go ahead and I move these pieces out of the way over here. And it's like, there's a lot going on. You're like, dang girl, you got a lot. I'm like, I know, I have a lot. So much going on right now. Okay. Now remember, do not leave the room. I know you're going to be tempted, like, oh no, it's just going to take, no, this is not the time to then go. And like, I'm just going to sweep up real quick. No, this will burn, okay? You can't, like, this is not something you can multitask with if you're going to leave the room. And I would even say you just kind of want to keep an eye on it. Just because, especially now since it's hot, he's already did one batch. Oof, it's not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. I'm just going to kind of get these together. So what I'll probably do is I am going to have a couple of them that I'll eat, and then I'll freeze like a few of them as well for next week. And then I'm just going to kind of wait patiently. Yeah. So, you know, cooking on a Friday night, I used to meal prep on Friday nights a lot when I lived in Minnesota because, you know, it'd be so cold and whatever. And after a while, like, you know, the first couple winters I was there, I would be out there in the bar with, like, you know, my little micro mini, like all, you know, all good 90s Gen Xers would do. And then, you know, I just was like, there was a time that it just got to be so cold. I was like, I can't do this because I'm like bar hopping, but like I'm scraping my windows in between each bar hop, okay? And, you know, you think, oh, that's not so bad. But I wasn't wearing a real coat, okay? Because I was like 25. Like, so a lot of the things, all of the bad decisions I was making, or I'd have like a little thin little like, you know, like decorative blazer on, just like aggressively, you know, sitting there scraping my windows, right, along with everybody else. So yeah, that's, you know, I had to start making decisions about, you know, how I was going to like, you know, live my best Friday night life in the wintertime, weekend life. And a lot of times, I would say a few times out of the month, I was meal prepping on Fridays and sometimes Saturdays as well, depending on kind of like, you know, how cold the weather was. Okay. So let's see here. I think, oop, it is done. Okay. So let's see here. I know you're probably thinking like, dang, you use a lot of these, use a lot of utensils. I do. And let's see, is this going to come out? Is this coming out? Okay, it is. Okay. I do. I tell you, I was trained by an abuelita in New Mexico, that one of my neighbors from back in the day. And I always forget, hey, you know what? You probably don't want to, you know, use your bare hands for things. But, you know, I have to remember that I have acrylics now, because back then I did not have acrylics money. So I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. But now it's like, no, I could cause some kind of chemical reaction here. So we're going to have to let this, because Big Bertha is hot. She is hot. I'm going to unplug my charger, because I think I've got enough charge in here. It's not too terrible. So we're going to unplug that. We're going to move Big Bertha. But I'm going to also show you right here. This is what this looks like. Now, I do have a preference. I do like it to just a vanity thing. I do kind of like my waffles to be browner, all that stuff. But I'm fine with this because I can top it with some whipped cream and put a little sprinkles. And I'll take a picture of it because I'm going to have one of these. And because it's a dessert waffle. So I will have one of these. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, and next up, what we're going to do is we're going to do the hot like wasabi when I bust rhymes. We're going to do that. So it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think, to do this because I've kind of been brainstorming this. You know, I brainstorm things in my head. And then sometimes, like when I very first started trying to record things, I would do these practice runs. But now I'm like, you know what? There are people in the world that don't season their food on purpose. And there's just no reason for it. Like not even a medical reason. They're just like, oh, seasoning is scary. So I feel like if they're going to show off their unseasoned food with pride, I need to show off some of my mad scientist things as well, right? I need to support myself and, you know, not be such a perfectionist. Just kind of go with it. Okay, so that is really hot. Hot. Okay. So we're coming back. Now we're doing the cucumbers. You know, sometimes cucumbers, I'm trying to like put this over here but not touch other things. Sometimes with cucumbers, you can get kind of bored with that when you're like, you know, making things like, oh my gosh, what else can I like make with, I've already sliced them, I've already speared them, like I'm kind of bored, or like you forget you have a cucumber and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get rid of this cucumber in 2 days, but what am I going to do? And I'm not going to sit around and eat. Now, I will sit and eat a bowl full of cucumbers that have been seasoned, but I know not everybody will. Whoa, that almost fell. So what we're going to do here, I've got these 3 spears. There's technically more, but I kind of like cut them too thin for what I want to do with them. And so because of that, I had to, make some adjustments here. So, okay, hang on. Sorry, I'm just kind of, okay. We're going to move this because I'm looking at my ingredients and I think I don't know if I have enough per se to do 2 of them. So I'm going to just take that 3rd off. Or I'm sorry, 3 of them. I'm just going to take that 3rd one off. Okay, so you're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, we're going to be hot like wasabi when we bust rhymes. Like Leanne rhymes, because I'm all about that. Okay, I'm showing my age here. Okay, so we're going to start. So this wasabi, you're like, girl, where did you get that wasabi at? And I'm like, looking around. So, I was going to do this before, but the nori that I had was expired by like 6 months. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, okay, I got to get something smaller because I'm not going to eat just big sheets of nori. So then I found this like small amount of like seaweed, this wasabi, like wasabi flavored. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do that because I'm actually, and again, these taste really good by themselves and they're small. So it's something I can feasibly snack on and it's not going to, go bad or anything like that. Okay, so for the base of this, I am going to use, oh, there it is. I'm like, where did it go? Okay. I'm going to use some rice noodles. So we're going for a vibe, right? We're going for like a spring roll vibe, but we're not going to commit to a full spring roll. And I'm like looking for, I think the fork is here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Again, I'm not used, like by Friday, my brain has shut off. I'll just be honest with you. It has shut off. So let's see here. Okay. So we're going to do this. I'm going to put this here. Now listen, here's the thing. You can chop this up. I'm not going to say this is kind of like, this was in my mind. So got to keep that in mind. This was in my mind. So we're going to do that right here. And then, well, you know what? Actually, hang on. We're going to stop. Because I think what I want to do is I'm going to do this ginger powder. I'm not using fresh ginger because fresh ginger it's kind of like harder to find the good stuff, I think personally. So I use powdered ginger because I always have that in the, because of the whole cooking thing, because it's hard to really, if you cook fresh ginger too much, it gets a weird kind of thing. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. That kind of fell. But again, we don't want a ton of this. We just want the essence of this fresh ginger, okay? Because it's gonna have like a hot kind of thing. So hang on. So we're just gonna kind of do this. Now I will not take a picture of this because I have not, this is like in my mind. I do have pictures I need to post of, okay, there we go. I do have pictures that I need to post of the other cucumber thing that I made. Like the first time when I made it on camera, I mean, but it didn't photograph well. It looked really bad. It looked like something that you'd get at Vacation Bible School, and you'd be really happy and blessed that you got it, but it was not made, because a lot of the Vacation Bible School dishes that I grew up with were not camera ready at all. And I was like, I don't want to give people nightmares, okay? Because it really did have Vacation Bible School vibes. Okay, so I've got this right here. So I've got that, the ginger, the powdered ginger, there, ground ginger, and then I've got the rice stick. So let's see here. Let's go ahead now. I've got the wasabi. I've kind of chopped that up. So you're like, what? What are we doing here? So I'm going to put the wasabi on top here, right here. And then now also, if you wanted to, and I do have green onions, but I'm not doing all that. Okay. This is like, I don't have this perfected yet. This is just kind of like in my mind. So we're going to get this wasabi right here. Oh. Keep in mind, I'm the only person, usually I do use gloves, but since I'm the only person that I'm going to, eat this, I'm using my hands. My hands are clean, but yeah, usually when I'm cooking for other people, especially for myself too, but really for other people, I really do use gloves. I really do believe in doing that. So, okay. So now, right now, they kind of look like gremlins right now, but hang on. So let's see what else we got. We also have to do some, hang on. And I've got this half a tablespoon here. This is lemon juice, and this lemon juice is gonna activate just a little bit. It's gonna activate the ginger, just a little bit. Okay, see here, a little bit, and that's like a half tablespoon. Okay. And I will not be taking pictures of this because this is like my experiment, but I will eat them on camera so I can tell you, like, you'll see my face and I won't be able to fake it and be like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. Okay, so I've got the ginger, the ground ginger on the bottom. I've got the, what do you call it? The rice sticks, the rice noodles. And I've got the wasabi. I put a little bit of the lemon juice. So here we go. Okay, what I need to do for this next iteration of it, I need to chop the rice. I will need to like get in here and chop it and make it smaller. But the flavors, that's the most important thing here. The flavors work really well. The lemon juice, just as I predicted, activated the ground ginger taste. Then you've got like the nice texture. What's up, Mama Reed? You got the nice texture of the rice noodle, and then you've got the wasabi that's coming in with like a zing. It's a total zing. And it works. You could also do a few things of rice. I wouldn't put a ton of rice because it's not, you know, and I didn't, this reservoir right here, I didn't dig too deeply. I made it more, it's more superficial. It's not, I didn't dig it all the way out because I wanted to be able to get that nice cucumber. I love cucumbers. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. But I wanted that to kind of be there. I didn't want it to just be like a shell that you put something in. Again, there's times to do that, but I felt like the cucumber needed to be represented as well. Okay. We're moving all of this out of the way. You're like, girl, what are we doing now, Aunt Lainey? We're going to move this out of the way because you know what we're doing next? We're going to do our mocktail. Okay, we're back. That's still kind of hot. So I've still got this. So we'll be using this cherry vanilla. Okay. Well, I'll just put that in there for now. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you know, we've got my snack pack, cherry vanilla, gelatin, and that I do this because this is where the cherry is coming from. I'm not using fresh cherries. Some of it is just like, I don't feel like dealing with the fresh cherries. I don't feel like doing all that stuff. But also it's cost. This is like, does not cost a lot of money. And so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here first, like that. I know you're like, dang girl, just threw it on in there. I did. Okay, so we've got that right here. And I've got like my black cherry carbonated water here. And again, the black cherry, there's a wild cherry that I could use. But I was feeling kind of, I feel like, you know, with fall, I want a little sass with it. So I felt like it was kind of sassy. So this is about 1.5 cups here. Okay. I swear. You know what? I'm just going to put this over here. Get this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to pour this in here. Gotta pour like that. Okay. Because I don't want to fill it all the way up to the top because this is like a drink blender thing. It's not really industrial by any means. Let's see here what else we got. And we have got the vanilla, but I'm looking for, I think I have a teaspoon here. Okay, half a tablespoon. Okay, we're gonna probably do more of like, here you go. Not quite, it's more like a fourth of it. Well, no, not a, yeah, but more like a fourth of a tablespoon. Just want to go ahead and put that in there. Get that cherry vanilla in there. So we can taste some fall. We can get some fall up in here. Okay, let's get this. Gotta make sure this is twisted down. Otherwise, it's not good. Okay. Wow, that just fell on out and I had that on there. So, well, I'm going to be mopping tonight and that's going to be exciting. Okay, well, hang on, let's try this. That is so weird. Like I could swear, I thought I had this all the way down. I guess I did not. You know what though? That's good enough because I don't want to risk getting it on my ceiling. And sometimes that happens. But you know what? The good news is just with that little bump. Here we go. Right here. Okay. I mean, there's still some, it's a little chunky there, but it's okay. We got the essence. This is my cherry vanilla mocktail. This is very good. It was worth it. It was worth the mopping that will come after I finish this video officially. So there you have it. Again, look, see how calm I was? When I first started doing these videos years ago, that would have freaked me out and I would have not posted anything for like 3 weeks because I would have been so mortified. I can't believe I did that on camera after saying, hey, you got to be careful because this can happen. And then it just happened. So what are you going to do? Thanks everyone so much for joining me. Aunt Lainey's Kitchen. You can find me at AuntLainey'sKitchen.com, Aunt Lainey's Kitchen on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I feel like I'm forgetting some, but I mean, I don't know. Am I forgetting something? I don't know. Oh, YouTube. I'm also on YouTube. These videos, somebody asked me, where do you put your videos? Because, you know, Facebook, I do it Facebook Live on my personal, and they go away after 30 days. So they're on YouTube. I also post them on TikTok. I think there's a 30-minute limit on TikTok, so sometimes you don't get the full video, but if you go to my YouTube channel, you will get the full video, and I generally post them within a few days of, of filming them, recording them, I guess you could say. Anyways, you guys have a great weekend, and, you know, take care and be safe and all that stuff, and I will see you next week, hopefully at the regular Tuesday time. Okay, take care everyone. I'll talk to you soon.